te ji so tanda tangpo jamju damba te nangi yana. Te jamju damba shunkin ten so ya dongla pe dang.
So first Rinpoche will give the refuge. So those who are taking refuge, if they'll come up in front.
Tatambo tene genju somla maini chasam sarnaroche.
So first, thinking of the three jewels, start by doing the 3 prostrations, or called half prostrations. Bow down 3 times.
Tene ta te jesu la pumo yepa sala tsu yamba hlang lakwa ni thalma jarne deju te ta tandangma sanji jamden de jin sepa jesu tempe ten da la te tar tu maroche.
And then you sit like kneeling, but with the left knee up. So the right knee on the ground, the left knee up, and with the hands at the heart, because that is it's a reminder of the position in which the Buddha's pupils would sit.
Tene ta ngaranga somde te bekik ten dangre la te jedu nang ko gre. Te jedu te la tanda la kare yore se na tene cheran namba sanje chu genden de kencho Rinpoche namba song chap sun ro yin sengeje yore la te tardo semje ten kencho Rinpoche namba song chap sun ro yin sambe tamchar la ne tene jedu nang ro chi.
Then you repeat words after Rinpoche, and the meaning of these words is that one is taking refuge in the Buddha, taking refuge in the Dharma, taking refuge in the Sangha. So one thinks one is like making that promise or commitment of taking refuge in the 3 jewels, and thinking that, you repeat after Rinpoche the words of the prayer.
Chojona Yupe Sanje Tang Jangchup Sempa Tamje Dala Gonsuso Lopan Dala Gonsuso Datu Dene Zante Jesit Soye Parto Kani Namchincho Sanjela Japso Cho Decha Tang Talwa Namchincho Chula Japso Cho So Namchincho Pape Genden Namla Japsun Chewo Dachise Soya Parto Japsum Zinpe Ginhinto Lopenchi Zangdu Sol Chochona Yupe Sanjedang Janchup Sempa, Tamji, Dala, Gonsusol, Lopan, Dala, Gonsusol, Datu, the Nezante, Jesit, Soya, Parto, Kani, Namchincho, Sanjela, Japsun Cho, Decha Tang, Talwa, Namchincho, Chula, Japsun Cho, Tso Namchincho, Pope, Gendon, Namla, Japsun Cho, Dachese, Tsoya, Parto, Japsam, Zinpe, Geninto, Lopenchi, Zondo Sol, Tene, Tati, Sonde de, Len something Dangrela, Tatanda Len Nipati, Tupare, Len Sumbag Yugula, Narang, Segurje, Dagre. Te tanda karire sena ta tikap tnala sanje dang changchu semba tamji sena thopne ta ngaran chapsun ro tambate hyu semba yin somba ta tikap su thophi se thophi pala tene dambate thogi yorala tene tikap su thophi ne tene ta ngaran ke maompala semji maombola pento barhyo somba menom zambota semji zambona roji.
And so the prayer is repeated 3 times altogether, and we've already repeated it twice. So now at the end of the final repetition, the Rinpoche will snap his fingers, and what that means is that at that moment you think you have received the blessing of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and have received the refuge vow. And so one has, at that point, the awareness of attainment, or the awareness of obtaining the vow, and that is how one receives the vow, is through that recognition or awareness that one has received it. And so one receives that with an aspiration that one will go on to benefit many beings. So one has that motivation in receiving the refuge vow. So you repeat these words.
Chojona, Yupe, Sanje Tang, Janchup Sempa, Tamji, Dala, Gonsusol, Lopan, Dala, Gonsusol, Datu, Ndane Zante, Jesit, Soya, Parto, Kani, Namchincho, Sanjela, Japsun Cho, Decha Tang, Talwa, Namchincho, Chula, Japsun Cho, Tso Namchincho, Pope, Gendon, Namla, Japsun Cho, Dachese, Tsoya, Parto, Japsam, Zinpe, Geninto, Lopenchi, Zondo So. Tene, ta te jisla, chitsune ta te tsikegre, te kenchuk samla ichi jipe tantang, tene, te jis mensa bajayi takre la, tene te tanda, ta namba sanjipe tambi chuchi gola hyupa yin, samba ten takure la, tene che namba ramba yin pe naruchi.
And then after that, a very tiny amount of hair is cut from the top of the head as a symbol that one now has conviction in the three jewels. And then also one is given a name, a new name, as a reminder that you have entered into the path of the Buddha's teachings. So you come up one after the other to receive those.
Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya, 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 Namo Namo Buddhaya Namo Dharmaya Namo Sanghaya 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 다 대지서라 나랑게 면함 잡그래라 제란남 잡선도 담바 휴 담비추지고라 휴바 대라 바치 메바다 데네 제란서 선바견도 타투 근데부 녀도 토파 대라 바치 메베 면함 잡그래라 제란남 바요 생제데네 대다도 면함 잡나로지.
And so then next the Rinpoche will recite a prayer that now, having taken refuge, that there will be no obstacles on your path, and that in accordance with your wishes, that you will attain the ultimate goal without any obstacles. And so he will recite this prayer and ask that you make a similar prayer within yourself.
Tarbe janzen tembara jorje chombara je bazen tar zembara jorje sulrimje phumbo yongso zobara jorje serap tomje do dambe je nyamsa lembe kalba dan tembara jorje tarbe janzen tembara jorje sangbara je bazen tar zembara jorje sulrimje phumbo yongso zobara jorje serap tomje do Tambe ju nyamsa lembe kalpa dan tembara jorje tarbe jansen tembara jorje tsongbara jeba sen tar tsembara jorje sultimje pumbo yongso zobara jorje serap tamje do tambe ju nyamsa lembe kalpa dan tembara jorje temje sultimje me jen sultim nambara da don lamsem mebe sultimje sultim Paro Jinzo Yo Jalwa Ganje Jiso Lobjo Zangbo Jeba Yonso Zoze Jen Sultim Jeba Dime Yonda Tada Manyam Jeme Jebara Yo Lula Jugu Samje Daye Yong Ala Dene Samje Daye Semla laba samje dahi yo ganla ganjo samje dahi yo.
So that completes the giving of the refuge vow. Then after that, now next there's the Bodhisattva vow. So those who taking the Bodhisattva vow can come to the front.
Yeah. Tene ta songchu senchi damba hyo la tene gerdo ta ngaranzo tene semchi tangchi jetando samba semchi la mikba ni jigi senyi ta damba ta tene teya tene tangbo rang ngambar zobar sanje pa ta tene yin ngambar zobar sanje pa la ke yin nyamba hirap pusum zobar ta damba te ni ji ta hirap saundun del bege ta chongchu ku sar mboche te jilla che go pa ta jilla che par se pa la ya tene ta tambo ngarang ke damba te lengi yin te ta bu che gi yin sin ke lang ba are la tene te ya jerdo janju sanje damba te tanda kelen bate manyam pachi chegi insine kelen ge yomare ona kandi kelen ge yore sena janju sanje dambate ngarang srang semje tento pacha ika pechetula tene ta te tamja te kelang tende se nang ge yore la tene te tarto rang semje tene saltap ne tene saltap naruchi.
And so for the bodhisattva vow, that one is developing developing compassion, which is wishing to benefit all beings. So one has this one as the object of one's motivational beings, and then also one wishes to wishes for the attainment of Buddhahood for oneself and Buddhahood for all other beings. So there's also that aspect of wisdom. So this bodhicitta, this aspiration to enlightenment, is an union of both the means and the wisdom. And in taking this bodhisattva vow, or developing this bodhicitta, one isn't doing it in the form of like taking a vow that one is going in order to keep a vow unbroken. It's more in order to be able to create a latency and tendency within oneself, so that for the continued development of the bodhicitta motivation. And for di mikba kandashik
tene ta tanda de cherdola jonju senji damba hyugi.
And so we take the bodhisattva vow, just thinking, I am taking the bodhisattva vow.
Tene ta tela ya tangbo japsun ro ta tene deji sola jonju senji damba lemba ni yore. Tene tangbo japsun ro ge kapsula cherdo ngaran sola jamju damba hyu sembarete. Yena ya jonju senji damba lembe ge cherdo tanda tene 당하라 삼마제게 파르라 근조성마 잡순로기 삼바타부제다 데네 담발렘베 갑살라 칸데 성국이 요아레세나 데네 헨지 산제당 장주 삼바탐지지 당보 송주주도 득제바래라 데네 나라야 대따르도 송주주도 산제바인 삼바제다 헨지 산제당 장주 삼바탐지지 송주주도 득지니 송주 삼바 라발라 라바른제바래라 tene ngaraya te tardo sonju sembe laba yin sambata nane tene sonju chut sen jebata sonju sembe damba lembate naruchi.
And so, in taking the bodhisattva vow, first there's taking refuge, and then the bodhisattva vow itself. So, although you have already taken refuge in the bodhisattva vow, one again takes refuge, but saying that one is taking refuge from now until the attainment of enlightenment. And in taking the bodhisattva vow, one thinks of how all the Buddhas and bodhisattvas of the past, just as they developed the bodhicitta and developed an aspiration to attain supreme enlightenment, then oneself is also going to develop this same aspiration, the same bodhicitta. And just as the Buddhas and bodhisattvas of the past, having developed this aspiration to supreme enlightenment, then entered into the training in order to attain that, then oneself also is going to enter into the training and practice of the bodhisattva. So in that way, that you yourselves develop the bodhicitta, this aspiration to a supreme enlightenment. So first, then one begins with bowing down 3 times, doing 3 half prostrations. And then sit, kneeling knee with the right knee on the ground and the left knee up, and the hands together at the heart.
Changchub Nimbor Chije Par Sanje Namla Japsun Che Chudang Changchu Sembaya So Lao Degin Japsun Che Changchub Nimbor Chije Par Sanje Namla Japsun Che Chudang Changchu Sembaya So Lao Degin Japsun Che Changchub Nimbor Chije Par Sanje Namla Japsun Che Chudang Changchu Sembaya So Lao Degin Japsun Che Yang Chao Samsara.
Then we want to bounce down 3 times again.
Chetaranganje Dehi Ji Changchub Tukne Jepa Tang Changchub Sembe Lapala Tera Remyin Nepa Tar Dehin Rola Pendento Changchub Semne Ji Jehin Dehin Duna Lapa Laon Rinpoche Laparaje Chetaranganje Dehi Ji Changchub Tukne Jepa Tang Changchub Sembe Lapala Tera Remyin Nepa Tar Dehin Rola Pendento Changchub Semne Ji Jehin Dehin Duna Lapa Laon Rinpoche Laparaje Tati yang linsong tendengirela linsong ge tanda nipa de trupni tasumba tigi la yang arang segulda gurela segulda bekapsula sanje dong chongchu sembatam ji jatong ne teni chongchu senje dambata chenap je cheran namla top chong sambanda naruji.
And this is repeated 3 times, and you have done it twice. So at the end of the 3rd repetition, then Rinpoche will snap his fingers, and at that time you think that before, in the presence of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you've received the blessing of the bodhicitta and have received the vow of the bodhicitta, of the Bodhisattva.
Chetaranganje Dehi Ji Changchub Tukne Jepa Tang Changchub Sembe Lapala Dedo Remgin,
Teda Rimshin,
Nepatar,
Nepata,
Dejinrola,
Teshindola,
Pendando,
Pendanto,
Janchup Semne,
Chanchu Samne,
Jijeshin,
Jejishin,
Dejindona,
Teshinduna,
Lapalaun,
Napala,
Rimbayendo,
Rimpashin,
Laparajevo. Yang Chasam Sanete, Devoji Yunarj.
Then one does bows down 3 times again and then sits down comfortably.
Tene tate tardo janju senje dambalembala tene jorwa japsun rowa ta ngui song chu ju do semje pa ni re ta te je so tene rangin gawa gamba se la tene te ya janju senje dambatil la ne ta mahon pala jezan to rogo ge wa re la jezan to roar si pe ta la kare go ge wa re se na tene rang sem te la gawa ta to 첨보지 여나 당아라 송주선지 담바히와데 비 갈바상보 종송 섬 가와도 또와 첨보지 여나 마음발라 제상 젬벨도 그래라 디처나 다단다 송주선지 담발렘베가슬라 드네 가와도 또와지 그래 야제 빵구 반다보 디파히아 반다보지 나 텔 제바지 그래라 제바지 나 드네 마총도 그래요 윤신 디처나 다단다 나랑 순주 벨베기 쳇돌라 드네 가와다 쪼아지 고기 와래라 가와도 쪼아지 바텔라 랑 가와도 쪼아지 바제다 yin 가와도 쪼아지 바제디 니 와래.
So we've had the preliminary part, which is taking refuge, and then the main part, which is the taking of the bodhisattva vow, and now that is followed by, it's like by rejoicing, because having developed the bodhicitta, one needs this to get better and better and better. And in the method by which one can improve one's bodhicitta and make it continually grow and get better is to rejoice and feel happy that one has taken the bodhisattva vow. And being happy that one has taken the bodhisattva vow, that enables the bodhicitta to grow more and more. And if it's something that one has to avoid, and like a bad action, that one one feels regret following doing such a bad action, and that then diminishes the practice of that kind of action. So for the bodhicitta, and because we want it to grow and increase, we rejoice in having taken it. And there are 2 kinds of rejoicing. There is one's own rejoicing in your having taken the bodhisattva vow, and then there's the rejoicing of others that you have taken the bodhisattva vow.
Tene ta te na ne tangpo rang gawa gamba te ya tene rang gawa gamba tso mahi pa ngune gawa gamba pe mesi pe kalwa sampo hira chung yo re la tene kalwa sampo chung junsen de khandi re se na tanda ta ngara tso semchi mambo khorwa na ne he tene 다 동안 넘버 나서 봐 용기 와래라 대 전생 가리레세나 송주주도 생기 마도 발라 때네 되는 거라라 내고 받제다 산지에다 장주 선바 mam보제 다랑 hin제다 섬지 마차밤 베메 흔도든 용기 와래라 대 전생 가리레세나 콩 넘버 당보 송주주도 생기 발라 때네 종아래 되네 단당 알아서 송주주도 생기 대 되네 담배 취지고라 효 장준주도 생기네 도부송지 점된데지 공pon타발라 감바칸 보주여 반다보지 중화래라 되네 감바칸데 보사도 마음발라 땅 알아서 젠주 톱나 조보상지 주여 바제다 젠주지 마톱나야 다 마음발라 렘지 갈레 조부송지 점된데지 공pon톱주인 발라 니 반다보지 되네 배 깔바송부 고한다보지 치아래라 되네 디처나 배 깔바송부 좀 tene teyang tangpo milu top tene data in the Tambi Chuchu Gola Yo, data in the song Tanda, Janju Sanji Damba Lane, tene Be Calvazampo Johnson, Sone, tene Sana, Jumatella, Juma Imbrahine, Sana Gawato Tuachine, Jidu Naruchi.
So first there's one's own rejoicing at taking the bodhisattva vow, and so this is not just a kind of like meditation on rejoicing or feeling happy, but it's rejoicing at one's actual good fortune. You think how one has this good fortune of developing the bodhicitta, the good fortune of entering into the Dharma and then developing the bodhicitta, and one is very fortunate because there are so many beings in samsara and experiencing all kinds of suffering, and why are they in this condition? It's because they haven't developed the bodhicitta. And there have been so many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who accomplish a benefit for beings, accomplish it like effortlessly and just naturally accomplish a vast benefit for beings. And so what is the origin of that, of these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas? It's their development of the bodhicitta. And so now this day one has developed the bodhicitta, so one is very fortunate. It's like one has taken the first step towards Buddhahood, and having taken that first step, then if one has the diligence, one will get there and achieve Buddhahood very quickly. And even if one doesn't have the diligence, then one will definitely attain it at some point in the future, having begun on the having taken that first step towards it. So it's like one has opened a door onto a great good fortune. So one thinks, I've attained a human existence. I have been able to encounter the Dharma and enter into the Dharma, and I've been able to develop the bodhicitta, and so one thinks what a great good fortune this is. So one can really feel happy and rejoice in one's good fortune at having been able to do this. So then we'll repeat these words.
Devo ye Meye Sitpa Lekparato Tering Sanje Reksuchi Sanje Seso Datenjor Dana Dagi Jene Jang Rekdantunbe Le Zamde Jeme Zunbe Rekndala Nyokparamanjur Dedar Chao Tati Rangawa Gambati Soni Ta Yingawa Gambarella Yingawa Gambati Ya Ta Naranga Tenda Rangdan Konama Imba Ta Tanda Chonchu Chuta Senche Bala Dene Senche Bata Chonchu Sempe Damba Lambala Dene Mahambala Senche Mahambala Pinto Re Pinto Jachin Budure Yunsin teacher na ta Senche Tamchi La Jerdo Je Dro Sinki Mepanda Boje Dewa Topic Dro Sepata Dungal Pompa Dro Sepa Mepanda Boje Chorwayuare La Tini Te La Ta Narangi Chiran Nambiki Chonchu Chuta Senche ni Mahambala Senche Mambola Pinto Bayin Bichana Senche Mambo Dewala Ketaba Dungal Troll Tobaje Nangju Te Ya Jesse Kasi Partula, that's sending a tent by Imbicherna, Data sending Tomji, Semla Gawata, Troachi, Tamam Palangarang, Trosegi, Sini, Tene Kilang Patella Tene, Tene sending Tomji Gawato, Troachi, Gugre, Sombatav, Tasartabne, Jidu Naruchi.
Then following one's own rejoicing, then there's the rejoicing of others. Because having we've taken the bodhisattva vow, and one is doing that not just for one's own benefit alone, but one is doing it for others, that through taking the bodhisattva vow there will be a benefit for other beings, there will be a great benefit for other beings. Because the beings in samsara, they have that sensation that they are without any help, that there's no one to help them to gain happiness, no one to help them to become free of suffering. But now that one has taken the Bodhisattva vow, that means that in the future one will be helping beings to attain happiness, helping beings to become free from suffering, and one will just be continuing to do that on and on as long as there are beings to be helped. And so as that one has developed this bodhicitta, made this commitment, then one is like saying to all other beings that now they can rejoice and be happy at this help that is going to come to them. And so thinking that all beings are happy because we have developed the bodhicitta, we repeat after Rinpoche these words.
Dagi tering Chopa tamchi Jengharandroa Dehi Nidana Pardo della Dando Pusinji Ladan Lamen Laso Gawaraji Tati Chiranamba Chanju Sanji Dambati Lentrobarella Teni teji sala melam jakure ngaransu melam jakure la melam te ya teni chitan sangju ke sandang tam melam je jakure la sangju ke sandang tamba sedu semjin mangbo je sangju ke semti je matoba tende yore la teni tenzu ke je la sangju ke semti je war ho sangju ke semti je topna perang yin mangbo la pen to ba yin bechana sangju ke sandang ba je je la je war ho melom tangbo tang melom nipa te ta chongchun chu de sen ji sen ba yang mang bu yo re tenzo la kare yo re se na tene te chongchun chu de sen je ba te yang te chi ma nyam hyo ge nyen kan da bu yo re la te ta bu ge chongchun chu de sen ji sen ba tenzo la za ni ma nyam be nyen kan da bu za ni me ba je yo hyo so ne melom nipa ja tene melom sum ba te la chongchun chu de sen ji tene te yo me nyam ba mangbo yuwa la menyampa mangbo yuwa te nam ta la kongpe kandi gogi yuwa re se na kongni kongdum pel ni teni yang takpa che jachimbo che chepartam papa che ro gogi yuwa re la te tabu chongchu sempa te nam che tuji la yuwa chongchu ke san rinpo che te kongni kongdum pel war hyo se melam japa te melam namba som jawi yuwa re la teni te senji tayne melam japne jidu naro che.
Then after taking the Bodhisattva vow and the rejoicing of oneself and of others, then there follows, with the completion of taking this Bodhisattva vow, there is a wishing prayer. And so the prayer of aspiration that one makes is in accordance with, developing the bodhicitta. It's about the bodhicitta. And so the prayers that one makes are first, that there are many beings who have not developed the bodhicitta. So one prays that they will develop the bodhicitta, because if they can develop the bodhicitta, that will be of such great benefit for themselves and for many other beings. And so one prays, may they develop the bodhicitta, those who have not developed it. And that's the first prayer. And then, secondly, there are many who have developed the bodhicitta. And what is it that they need? That they have the danger of their bodhicitta declining. And so the prayer one makes is that may these beings who have developed the bodhicitta, may their bodhicitta not decline, may they be able to maintain it. And then there are beings so that's the second prayer that one makes. And then there are beings who have developed the bodhicitta and who are able to maintain their bodhicitta without losing it, without it declining. And but what is it that they need? They need their bodhicitta to grow and to become greater and greater, so that it becomes very vast. And so one prays that those who have the bodhicitta, that their bodhicitta will grow and grow greater and greater. And so that's the third prayer that one makes. And so we repeat after Rinpoche the words of this prayer of aspiration for the bodhicitta.
Chanchub Semna Rinpoche Machipanam Jejurje Jipa Nyamba Mepatang Koni Kondo Pelwara Hyo tene ta te jesala sonju senji mainte tege yana te rimbayin to pe.
And then next is the giving of the bodhisattva name. So you come up one by one to receive them.
Karma ba je no, 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 karma ba je karma ba je no, 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 karma ba je no.
That concludes giving the bodhisattva vow.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. How are you? Thank you. Huh? Oh, yes. Tene ta tarige kapsula chenamba dana pe ngarange tambe chugo go ne tesi tene darling dabo sejuga kokap chomare la ta ti kapsula tene chonchu sen sambata niji kandizi gomgu ge yapa ta te lojong ge menga la tene gom tap jai ta tene ta hirap pero ge cherto hinne gombe ge tap kande jine rimbe ge gombe ge tap te shuju ge kokap 토바렐라 데야 나랑근근이 있나야 깔바상 보시러 정수 투지 체크주 제다 데네 제 넘버 있나야 배 깔바상 보 시러 중어레 데네 데야 당 넘어게 로주가 온드세나 데네 다 두랍 제베 나네 벨라 산지게 템바 당보 ngochu바렐라 tene di kapsula tene tantang Guru Rinpoche ta tene ta jaga ke pente ta mangpo pe tene peche lo tsawa mangpo ke labjong ze tene te mirab mangpo la rinpi ke pe la sanje ke tempa te tarne tene kahi ke tene chu chi kahi ke chu jang kahi ke chu nyamli nang tene emberere le yo lali ke gom jap truba japne tene tambe chu de ta je chepartam phoba tumo maimba ta jagar phoba yo do sembe sanje ta tutso chempo tamji ke menga tenso sur lang tene de nyamsu lang ne kahi ke tene de la je ndelvanda boda kahi ke menga ngurundrapotin zamne tene ti tembati ya hira pel chute mambo pel ta tinde namare chute pelware la pelwa nanghingi yapo hira chute zangma chute yapo hira chungare te yinaya ti kap tena la tene je ta ngaranso ke sundugo kangri rawa korwa segi ware la kangri rawa ke korde du tene kuru kangri rawa ti nang la ya tarde pare mato tene jitin che khan ta ngaranso lumba yenda la hira tene chapel rabo ta ti sanje ke tene tuila mawa pa ina kaina hira chung yo mare.
So as Rinpoche says, so he's very happy to be able to come here and to talk about, the Dharma with you, in particular to be able to give the teachings on development of love and compassion, and on the meditation of the lojong, sending and taking, and on the practice of shamatha meditation, as a basis for development of wisdom. And so she's been very happy to been able to come and do this. And also he says that we are all very fortunate in that, because the Dharma was established in Tibet in the 8th century with Guru Rinpoche and many other great Indian masters who came to Tibet, and there were the Tibetan Lotsuas who studied and trained, and then there were for generations there were people who came to understand the Dharma and trained in the Dharma and practiced the Dharma, and so they practiced and attained accomplishment in solitary places and so on. And so being able to take all the teachings of the Buddha and the great siddhas of India and put them into practice, and then write commentaries on them and write practice instructions and express them in songs and so on, so that the Dharma developed and spread greatly, and it's not only spread very greatly but also remained very pure and genuine. And so the Dharma became very widely established, but as it's said in the literature, Tibet it was encircled by a wall of snow mountains. So the Dharma in Tibet, it was spread very greatly and well, but it remained within this wall of snow mountains, and it didn't spread to other countries and other places, but just remained there within Tibet.
Tene ta ti kap tana la tene peg mege samna ya je sijar ge merik chue te cha nyamni se ge mare ngaran su ge nyamni se jure ma to yenda su labjong che ge mare nyamni che ge mare samba da je ti ya pa che ta tene sijar ge me ya mambo le ge yo mare la ma kha hi le pa tin su ya je peg chue de je kuba ge le kan da je ma to tene ngone ge tan sa po che ta ngone ge tene simji na penkin ji ja hinji mare somne te ki te a hiro mago wa je derva te a hiro yin tung tung je te ti gen der hi je traun du ga ta je pe la ku pe le kan da je yo re song song da ti ta ti kap tana la tin chong yo re la tene ti wangke tene che jala pene ta tanda jerto namba sanji bichu to te na ni mixal to sona doji ti bichu te hito che dario mare la ti kaptana la tene ta che politic ke che ko na tene tanda Mao Zedong ke tene pe de la pe dubo tang kaptana la tene che on de sina chita mega on de sina kale ka pe me mo dunkan nyong re te yina ya tambe chu on de sina pe go chi ba na gi jong re te sanji gi tene tu la pa pa nda je jong ne go chi ba na gi chung du te la tene te tambe chu te tanda kari ra e ko chilo tana te perju ye pa je jong ta Tini teya kalva sangpo chungwa la teni chijar ke meten zuke tini nguni teke kongri rawi ko nang la tom te du ta che hira chua me panda po jin thongki wale nguni che chua te ta hong zu te la a chu senki te pe yapo nduga gongwa che lo la hyar to pa che ta tini chu ke chua nda po te yapo nyang to pa che te kalva sangpo hira chungwa rewa.
So during that period of time that the Buddha's teachings did not spread elsewhere, that you can say it was not time, the time for the Buddha's activity had not come or whatever, but anyway it's there in Tibet, and so within Tibet the Tibetans, if thinking about people in other countries, they would think they wouldn't be able to understand the Dharma, they would not be able to practice it, and so on. And then you get just a few people from outside coming in, and then they would get the impression that a lot of this was kind of very stupid, kind of what the Tibetans are doing, and nothing, there's nothing they're doing which seems to be very beneficial or be useful or good for people to do, and so they get that impression. They go, come to Tibet and look around, come back, write their books, say how all this, how stupid the Tibetans are, and all these strange things they're doing, stupid. And so that's how it stayed, and that's how it remained for a while. And then to bring in politics, that then Mao Zedong appeared, and then he caused all this difficulties in Tibet. So on the one hand you can say, well, it's very bad, and that caused so much suffering, so many people and Tibetans, and then on the other hand it kind of like in this wall of snow mountains, it like opened the door and opened the door on the Dharma to come out, and so the Dharma coming out into the world, it allowed people who before didn't have much interest in Tibetan Dharma and Tibetan Buddhism to suddenly to develop an interest and suddenly say, oh, this Dharma is something actually rather very good and something very beneficial, and so people got to know it and then developed a taste and got the genuine taste for the Dharma when at this time.
Tene ta chitang ge tangma bel chu tar ndu bu kap na bo ji na ta ji chu de ya bu yin ba ye ya na bo ji se ne ta chu go la yu gi wa la tene chi ja ge ma ten zu ge ta tan da je sang ji ge chin lam na bo ji da so nam na bo ji ge ni chu de la ji ya bu ndu ga men du ga ta ji se bu kap la tene je chu de ya bu ndu sam ba ngone ta kalwa sam bo madina ta che yabu yo na ya che yabu mandu sambe lo che gre la tini tanda chu nyam ne nang kin khang ge kalwa sambu ya pa ta sonom ya pa la tene ta chu chuan da bu ti yabu nyong to ti nguni che pen tong ki rin do ga sam to ba te som ne chu go le hyu to ba te pe kalwa sambu hi ro jong te kalwa sambu hi ro jong ma si te chu go le hyu to ba zong mai ba chu nyam ne na tene nyamlin se duga te nyamlin yapu na labjong nangkin soga labjong che nyamlin chenkin soga nyamlin che pe kalpa sampu khida chongri.
So the Dharma spreading in the world and people able to understand it, know it, and enter into the Dharma, and so people had the good fortune to be able to to look at the Dharma, examine it to see whether it's whether it's good or bad, and come to the conclusion, oh, this is something which is good, this is something which is very beneficial, and be able to enter into the Dharma, so that whether you say it's through the blessing of the Buddha or through the accumulation of merit that people are able to recognize the Dharma as good and enter into it, and if one didn't have that good fortune, then even if something was good, one would look at it and one would get the perception that it's something bad. But with that, so you've had the good fortune of not only kind of getting to know the Dharma and entering into the Dharma, but also able to practice it and to get be able to get the real taste of the Dharma. And so people are actually able to put it into practice. So people are able to study, and through studying they get to gain the knowledge of the Dharma and able to really practice and gain that result, being able to truly practice and accomplish the result of the Dharma. So this is this is a very fortunate time. You're very fortunate to have been able to do that.
Tene ta teya jerdo sijar lumba la chue tart patien kalbasang parela chue tarna ya susu gerge ngani na kalbasang me na tambi chu gola hutu yo marete yena ya tambi chu gola hutuba tambi chu gola hutuba teya pe song hip ta na pe hale panda bujire parchiate ta je ngma ni nimba tela kalche wa nange yo rete yena ya tanda che namba kalbasang bujone 제 담비주데 간데도 당보 좋아한다고지 따주야 봐. 좋아때네 야야 다시라 야부 만두 sombe 년가요. 요 용스그레데 이나이 때 마용와. 뭐니 야본도 som네 다 담비주주고라. 휴바데 소수게 다 단다. 지와 망볼라 제 만남 야부 잡잡게 톱다고지 레마도 대답게 som모데 지와라 깔리 카보레. 대인도 될 채넘바 대답 som모 담비추라 좋았다 좋았대네 좋아뇽네 주고라효네 주냠슬롱 된배 메시베 갈바삼부키로 좀래.
And so, it's a very fortunate time in that the Dharma has spread into the Western countries, but in terms of the individual, if one didn't have the good fortune, then one wouldn't enter into the Dharma, even though the Dharma has spread. But you have the good fortune of being able to have entered into the Dharma, and if one thinks about it, this is just something so amazing that from in the past the Dharma is not present, and then you able to encounter the Dharma, and then able to and then examining it to see what it's like, and the fact that having examined it, that one actually took an interest in it and liked it and entered into it and practiced it. This is something which is very fortunate, that one actually had this attraction for the Dharma and is experiencing the taste of the Dharma and so on. And so we need to think about how fortunate one is, because it's very rare to get this kind of life, and so it must be just through the power of lifetimes of prayers, of aspiration, that one has attained this good fortune, because otherwise it's very difficult to get. So we should think about that and be aware of how fortunate one is.
Tene ta tetabu kalpa sambuchung kapla tangaranso pe zabzabchi ne jitang pangxia pangwe on de na ta je sang de ne nyemong bandabu ta jitang thoma me ban de kamba pa cha yo re de ji je hyo gre de na ya kap kala ten hi pa ye ten ju ye pa je ta tene tambe chu drupu go on de na ya ta ka se je jitang me se sing ken de la tene mela tene leka mambu ye pa je ta semtre mambu ye pa je re te yena kasi tutu gechu nyamni nang tup na ta te inji minji kal chembure la te rangdang go on de na chu nyamni nang ju ye ba je da te ne yendang go on de na ya ta ngaran so rang so su chu go la hu ba te kal ba sang bu chu ma re la te yenda la ya te tar do te ji chu nyamni sende menkin tenzo la tezi rang samba sambu go ne chu nyamlin sende yepe ke tap che ju je da chu nyamlin sende yepa tenzo zendru te zang zang mutum ken yo na tezi zendru le kulma che ju ye pan da bo je yin na tene ngarang sun ji ten ke go ne pen ta pa le tam bi chu ji go ne pen ta pa te pe ta ma on pa la pen to ja jin bon ro yin bi chen na sin ji yen den go on de se na je te tar to chu chula tenne yen la pemba duju te be kalchim bore la tene te ranging ten kanga suina ya zabzab na ju je ye ba je ta ya te messing te la tinchi manzamba data bu tinchi manzane te ngarange chu dumde yena ya chu dupala ngalchin rabunte tinchi me yendan si somna yendan si be kokap rabu me tinde chona ya te sempom roba sempom guban rabu tinde kaya mare jetang tambi chu chu gola huba de hu tupa chamya tan khowan ta jin si bichena kalba zambu kira jumre.
And so one has gained this great good fortune, and so then one should be very then careful to be able to practice the Dharma and in terms of the defilements or kleshas that arise in the mind, that they are bound to be arising because one is habituated to their arising throughout since beginningless time. But to be careful to try and be able to overcome and eliminate them as much as one can, also to be able to practice as much as one can, even though in the world that one cannot be very busy and have many concerns, much time being used up, but to try and practice as much as one can, and that's something that is beneficial, will accomplish one's own benefit. And then also in terms of benefiting others, that though there are people, if there be someone who is not interested in practicing the Dharma, but by skillful means to try and develop in them an interest in practicing the Dharma, or there are those who are practicing the Dharma but don't have much diligence, and be able to one can encourage them so that they can increase their diligence in being able to practice the Dharma. Then in that way one is able to benefit them through the teachings, through the Dharma, which is something a greater benefit than any kind of worldly help or benefit that one can give them. So in that way one can give this greatest benefit to beings, benefiting them through the Dharma. So while one has this great good fortune, one can be careful to be able to maintain its practice, to be able to benefit oneself and benefit others.
Tene ta te perna kasin tiwatang la terrorism da ji na tene je senji mambol ne pa ta ju samba meje le yo na ti ga amcho la je jamba ta ni ji te si group ge lo ju na bo je ko thop na je se na nge ngma ta ti si samba yo re ti le ka ti ya po ri mendu ta ti yo yo do samba ge lo sang bo je se gre la tene chong na tene pe ko kap sang bo Koran la yang pento chempo ta ti leka chenkin te la yang pento chempo re la senji mambo la yang pento chempo te ndog re la teacher na tambi chu ge tsai senkin te tambi chu pel senkin te so pe kal chempo.
And yesterday there was a question about terrorism, and so Rinpoche is saying if this teaching on love and compassion, if like a terrorist were to hear that, then it's possible that on hearing it they might think oh yes, that is right, and what I've done up to now is wrong, and what we need is development of love and compassion, and they'll stop their acts of terrorism. And so that'll be very beneficial for that person themselves who carry out those things, and also of course beneficial for many other beings. So it's a great thing to be able to spread the words of the Dharma and these teachings of love and compassion, and spreading them is something that can be very beneficial for the world.
Tene rang nyamlin si pe kap la yin ya tanda tene tapu tarjing ge nang du song na sangji ge do e long chang ne tene chu chun go on de se na tene Chitang Tombi Chu, the Yapuri, son the Lapa Nika Tamojana, based on Chimpo Chakarella. There's on my impa Lapa Yaji, that Tepa Chimpora, Machi Pachire, Yapu Imbada, Sampachi Logiana Ya, Tinitela, Sanji Rangi, Joanda Botani, tene te ngone tel ndrebu yung rebe sena tel ya pe ndrebu jachim pun jung re tangbo saben phacha drabo chi sem ten chung re la tene te maung pal rimji pel ne maung pal pento chimbu jachim pun jung re tene song yo re la te ngaran so te tambi chu chu go la hyupa te pe kalva sambu hiro chang chu drup tupa te pe kalva sambu lu yin te chu drup madhup na yin pe kalva sambu hiro chang.
And it says in the Jewel Ornament of Liberation, there's like Kompopa, there's a quote from the sutras of the Buddha about the great benefits of of like placing one's hands together in faith homage to the Dharma, and of the benefit of being able to just put one hand up in faith to the Dharma if one doesn't have enough for two. And that's like somebody asked the Buddha, well, is there really any beneficial result from just putting one hand up in homage? And the Buddha says, you say, there's a great vast benefit that comes from that, from showing just that much faith in the Dharma and planting this beginning and the seed, and from that there will there will be a development towards a great benefit for the self and others. So even if one isn't able to practice a great deal of the Dharma, just having entered into the Dharma is beneficial. And if thinks, I'm in various difficulties and there are various factors that prevent me from being able to practice the Dharma, or I am not able to benefit beings and so forth, that one shouldn't get disheartened, that one feeling that one isn't able to do anything, that just entering into the Dharma itself is something very fortunate and will bring a great benefit.
Tene ta tetardo chenambaga pe chunyamli namki zolai tuji che hyogyenla chunyamli tezon namadum ki tenzolai ya pe tuji che ten to senla gawata toa gomang chi hyogyen tene tezon hyogyen.
And so Rinpoche wants to thank everyone who is practicing, the Dharma of your good fortune, and then also wants to thank everyone who isn't practicing, but just entered the Dharma. So you are very good, because you are also very fortunate, and so asks everyone to rejoice and be happy in their good fortune. And so that's all that he has to say for today.
Rinpoche, I think we're all especially fortunate because we had you here to teach us about love and compassion and wisdom. I'm never sure which of those qualities you embody the most. I think it's like our hands on our thighs, even and equal. But we want to thank you again and again from the bottom of our hearts for coming to Rhode Island. And we pray that you will come again and teach us. And as a token of our appreciation, we would like to make this offering to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And for Peter, our inimitable translator, we would also like to say thank you so much for coming and for helping and for teaching us the Dharma. Teach through telling us what Rinpoche said. And for the three monks, Lobsang, who is Rinpoche's main attendant, we say thank you for all your attention, and to Tsering and to Wangchuk, we also say thank you. Dhanyabad. Tucheche. And I also want to thank Bianca Gray and Douglas Anderson, who were the other coordinators of the program. Douglas and Bianca. Oh. And also Heather and Cindy, who took care of registration in the bookstore. Stand up. Stand up. And Jean Tees, is she Jean, who took care of the Dharma bookstore, Dharma store. And Jill Laurie Crane, who took care of the lunches. Where's Jill Laurie? Right here. And Joseph Crane, who helped with the shrine and refuge and bodhisattva vows. And Patrick Lee and Deborah Calloway for doing sound and recording. And unknown to most of you, I think the key person to this whole program was Deborah Ann Robinson, who helped, who ran Rinpoche's household, who cooked and cleaned and kept everything running smoothly so that he could come here rested, comfortable, and well-fed. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Yes, stand up. And her very able assistant, Bridget Whitbeck, who also helped. Stand up. Thank you. And there were a few extra cooks, Tom Tees and Laura Kaufman and David Margolis and Geraldo, who helped in the household too. And Lisa, where's Lisa? Lisa Fiore, who was head of the Noble Kasung, who helped drive and guard Rinpoche and keep the place safe. And all the others who helped too, we're really very grateful. And I hope we can all do this again. And Rinpoche will join us one more time, or many times. Thank you.
Yes. Karma bhajeno, karma bhajeno, karma bhajeno,